Ooh, everybody. So I want to show you, starting out, you're not going to have a whole lot of lessons recorded to actually do some of this stuff, to post on your blog. I'm going to show you how to embed a YouTube video right into your blog post. So we go to YouTube and we search for, I don't know, snow rollers, those tumbleweed things that. Okay, so snow rollers, here, I don't know what this is. When you find a video that you want to use, be sure you watch it all the way to the end. Because I've made a decision halfway through, okay, this looks like good, I can use this. And then something inappropriate shows up 3/4 of the way through. We don't have sound turned on, so we can't hear it. So I want to embed this video on my blog. Because we're going to talk about snow rollers and wind and all that other fun stuff. I should have made up a new post. Remember from last time, you go to post, add new. And see how much quieter you guys are when you know you're being recorded?
I'm going to try this in my class. Right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not recording anything, I will use it against you.
So I have my post there, and I'll put the video in there. I go over to YouTube and copy the address. I go to my post, and I paste it. And that's all you have to do. One piece we didn't talk about last time is the preview button. When you click it, you can preview what you've written in the page, how it's going to look like to everybody that's viewing it. So you might want to do that because working with a couple other teachers, this works a majority of the time, but just sometimes it didn't work. So I hit preview and it did embed it correctly. So I just had to paste it in there. It has to be on a line all by itself and right at the left edge, not indented or anything. So when a student goes to RC Rules, it shows up right in the page. It's a really quick way to grab the YouTube videos and throw them in there. Any questions on that? Now, silence means you're guilty of doing something. The next piece of the puzzle is formative assessments. A lot of the sessions talk about just doing short formative assessments like after watching the video. When the one teacher recorded his own videos, he said he had to make sure, like 3/4 of the way through, he would throw a blurb in there. Be sure you circle the number 3 on the answer sheet, because then he would know who watched the video all the way through and who stopped at the halfway point or just did the questions and didn't watch the video at all. So he would throw those little things in. Finding videos on YouTube is a great way to start out. The one teacher found that the students would rather hear your voice though than some random dude on the internet. He said he was a middle school. He was a middle school math teacher, and this year he's a principal. But the students still come up and say, "Hey, I was watching your videos the other night." For some reason, watching them the next year. We're going to go over. We've done Google Forms. Have you guys done Google Forms before? We're doing it then because I didn't hear an adamant yes. So we're doing a Google Form. A Google Form is just a quick way to create a formative assessment. When you do the formative assessment, you want to make sure the kids understand this is not for a grade. This is just, we want you to answer it honestly. Don't get pressured to try to get the right answer because you want to know how they're doing, who understands what. So when you do the formative assessments, like you would show the video and do little 3 to 5 question formative assessment. You really have to emphasize that it's not homework, it's not for a grade, it's just so we know where you are. So they don't feel bad if they get it wrong, because it's just to notify you that that's an area you need to work on. So that's something we kind of don't emphasize enough, because a lot of the stuff the students get so focused on that grade that they don't really learn the information. They just learn how to get an A and not actually learn the information. So the Google form. Under Create, you've probably used these first few, but the fourth one down is a Google form. Now you've done Google Forms. I know I've sent them out. It's a quick way to grab information for people. We're going to make a nice little Google form. First thing it does is you got to give the form a title and you have to pick a theme. So I'm going to say YouTube video embedding training. And then pick a nice theme. I don't know. They're generic and you'll get bored with these pretty quickly. And then you just start using the same one over and over. We'll just do that one. Okay, at the top of the page, the form settings. You're going to want to check the first two. What the first one is, you can't even see the form unless you have a KentonCitySchools.org account. The second one is, it puts their username in the form. There's no limit on how many times they can complete the form, but if their username's attached to it, you know, hey, what are you doing here, Sam? You did this thing 4 times. The third one there, show progress bar at the bottom of the pages. That's if you have a multi-page form. We're only focusing on 3 to 5 questions. If you have multiple pages in your formative assessment, we're doing it wrong. This is just something nice and short, so we're not going to check that. That's the one that says you're on page 1 of 2, 2 of 2, and you're done. So leave that unchecked. So at the top, you're just going to check those first 2. It automatically grabbed our title that I gave it. I could give it a form description if I want. I'm not going to. Here's my question. Do snow rollers form in Ohio? That's the question title, and then I could put some help text with that question. So if I want to give them some additional information to use on that question and how I want them to answer it, I could type it into that help text. It's only one line, but you can put quite a bit of information in there. So don't let that throw you off. Question type. We're just focusing on formative assessment and something quick and easy to get information about what the students know. We don't want to put the burden on you for grading. We want to do it as automatic as possible. Those first 2 you can use, but you'll probably use them rarely. Text is just asking for short 2 to 3 words, 1 to 3 words, answer. The computer can't automatically grade that. The second one down, paragraph text, if you want more information from them, that's the one you would use. But so those first 2 we're probably not going to want to use very much on these formative. And if you're using this for more than a formative, if you want to do a test, you're going to want to do that in Moodle and not in Google Forms. Because it's way too easy to cheat in Moodle Forms and Google Forms versus Moodle. So if you're going to want to do something more than just a formative, use Moodle. But we'll talk about that later. So multiple choice, check boxes, and choose from lists are probably the 3 we're going to use the most. Multiple choice, you've all seen multiple choice, A through D. Check boxes lets you, multiple choice you can only select 1. Check boxes let you select multiple. So they can select multiple things with the check boxes. Choose from list, I'll show you what the choose from list looks like. So it's on choose from list. It's that little drop down thing. So they don't get to see all the answers. So if you have like 5 there, I don't like that very much because they can't really see everything unless they click on it. So most of the time you're going to use multiple choice or check boxes. And we're going to use multiple choice on this one because we only want them to select 1 answer. True or false. So that's our first question. And add item, you can add some more on there. You can add a few, depending on how many questions you want to ask. You want to keep it short. You don't want them to get all stressed out about it. We're only going to ask one. Now, down at the bottom, you can put a witty saying in there if you want, but right now it's going to say your response has been recorded. So you can say, thank you, great job, have a good day, you're awesome. Show link to submit another response. You're going to want to uncheck that. If that's checked, as soon as they do it, it says, thank you for submitting. Do you want to do it again? And you know you're going to have somebody hit that and answer it a few more times. So you want to uncheck that. Second one, you're going to want to check. Publish and show link to the results of this form to all respondents, so they can see what. I need to double check if that's just the summary page or the actual what each person answered. We'll find out because you guys are all going to do this in a second. And we don't want to allow respondents to edit responses. So I got my form done, and remember, I'm recording this video so you guys can always go back and watch it. I'm going to send it to you guys. And over here, it says include form in email. They're going to get it as an email with the form right in there, so they can do it right. You can also take the link and put it on your blog. It just depends on how you want to do it. We're going to do it in email because it goes a little faster, I think. I'm going to send me a copy. You probably won't want to send a copy, but we're going to send me a copy.
For today?
She's leaving. Show it here.
Who?
Okay.
I know.
She's leaving.
Oops. Okay, so you guys all check your email. You should have an email that says YouTube.
Video embedded.
Yeah. And look, the question's right down in there. So I can say false. You don't have to send a copy of a response. Review and submit. And now it's asking me to verify that, yes, that's what I want.
Got
Good, it's just a summary. And then that link shows the summary. Have you guys done it yet? Did you guys get the email? Yeah, answer it. I only have one answer.
Crossed out.
Yeah, I didn't get yours.
I didn't get
There it goes. I just wait a second. But see, it automatically then, the students can, they would have this nice little pie graph for each one, because you're probably going to do multiple choice. So they see exactly
And
where they are.
Where do we see this page?
After you complete the form, it'll be a link that says, yeah. Now, does that view all responses actually show everybody's answers? Oh, yeah. Does that show that for you guys? The view all, when you're looking at that summary page, can you guys click on that? Do you have this view all responses link?
I didn't get the email.
I don't like
I
it.
see the chart, full responses, but I don't.
But, yeah, okay, so you don't see that view all responses.
That's what we see right
Well, I can click on the old
No, that, you do see this link?
now. Yeah, it says speed permission.
Okay, good. So that's good. So the students can't make fun of Joey for getting it wrong, but they can see right away, and you can too, because it gives you a percentage. If you get 67, if you get, I mean, you can look at the ranges and know, okay, I need to look at this because we need to ask why did somebody answer this, and instead of asking why did somebody answer this, ask the students why would somebody answer it with this answer. So then you can get the people that got it right, they can think of, well, I can see that they would think it didn't happen because we barely get snow in Ohio. So you can kind of work them through figuring out why somebody would answer it the way they did, so they can think a little bit deeper on the questions than just guessing C all the time. And see, Claire did it twice. Now, when you distribute that form, you can, it depends on what you want to do. If you put it on your blog, the students are going to be able to do it throughout the day. So they might do it before they come to class even. If you email them during class a link to the form, then only those students, because remember we all have our Google group for each class period. So you can just email it when you're in third period, just send it out to third period. Then fourth period, just send it out to fourth period. But you'll be able to, so it's also time-stamped. So if by eighth period, somebody from your first period class finally decides to answer, you'll know that, what were you doing? And what were you doing in our first period because you never answered? Does that make sense? Guys are so quiet when we're recording. Now you guys are just going to record classes because you'll hopefully it'll keep them quiet.
Now, how do you see that form? Because I don't see that on there.
After you fill it out and submit your responses, there'll be a see previous responses link. It'll say see previous responses.
Oh, okay,
Here, right here. See, here's what you get.
right.
And it says see previous responses. Yeah. Did it record? I can't find it.
Yeah.
I don't think it recorded. It says new screen recording, but I don't.
Just enjoy it quiet.
I guess. Oh, there it is. Okay. Do you want to keep the current? Yes.